Hello guys, welcome to calculus class. At this time, I will go over some questions that I circled, like questions that I did not go over in class among this non-calculator session. But this question number 11, particularly I went over this, but I made a mistake. So I will go very slowly here so that you can kind of understand what it is, okay? So let's do one by one. So we have a graph here function. It's a piecewise function because for each condition you have a different one. So let's do this one here. For if x is less than 0, so we want to find antiderivative of this one, right? Which means area under the curve from -1 to 1. So let's label -1 and +1, although we can go on. And if x is less than 0, our function is going to be x squared. So it's a quadratic. So our question will look like this, quadratic function. When x is equal to 0, y value is equal to -1. So it's going to be somewhere here. Y equals -1. It's right here. It's going to be this point. It's going to be open circle. And when x is greater than 0, it's going to be x, linear function. So it's going to look like this. And question is just asking, you're going to find this one, area under the curve, right? So we're going to find area under the curve from here to here and here to here, okay? And now, do you see this point? We cannot actually find area or derive it because this is disconnected for this point. So we can just ignore this part, okay? So let's do this. So number one, from -1 to 0, so this one, I can break it down to like this. -1 to 0 of f of x plus 0 to 1 f of x, right? And as you can see, -1 to 0, we are using quadratic functions. So this is same thing as -1 to 0 x squared dx. I forgot dx here, and so is here. Plus, from here to here, it's going to be 0 to 1. Do you see this one's a linear function? So we're going to use x, dx, okay? Now let's do this. When you do antiderivative, this one is going to be x to the third power over 3 from 0 to -1. Plus, this one is going to be what? Why do I do this one? This is going to be x squared over 2, right? From 1 to 0. So let's do this. When you plug this one in, when you plug 0, 0 is a 0, so nobody cares. It's a 0 minus. Now I'm going to plug in -1. -1 to the third power over 3. Okay, so that's the first one. Plus, I'm going to plug in 1, so it's going to be 1 squared over 2. Minus, if I plug in 0, that's just a 0, so nobody cares. Yep, let's do one by one. -1 to the third power is just -1, but negative times negative is positive, so this one is the 1/3. Plus, 1 squared is still 1 and 1/2, and minus 0, who cares about 0, so it's just 1/2. And obviously, they cannot be combined, so multiply by 2 on top. Here, multiply by 3. It's going to be 2 over 6 plus 3 over 6, which you will get 5 over 6. So that's going to be the area under the curve. Therefore, the answer is going to be A. Okay? Hope it makes sense to you. Now, next one, what we're going to I'm going to go over is question number 15. So do you see I went over everything right here? So it's not going to be that difficult as you. So let's do this. I thought it was going to be more complex, but it was not. Because it says this graph itself is already f prime, right? Of the first derivative of this one. Now, if g of 0 is equal to 1, you want to find what's a g of 3. So you want to look for y value when x is equal to 3. Because this one is like 3, comma, I don't know. And this one means 0, comma 1, right? So let's do this one. At least what we know x value is going to be from 0 to 3, right? So if you look at from 0 to 3, it's going to be from here, and it's half of this one. So actually, instead of the highlighter, let me just use this. It's going to be this. Okay? So, you know, antiderivative, which means if I just put 0 to 3, antiderivative of g of x, if I do this, of dx, g prime of x, because do you see this one's a g prime of x? If I take antiderivative of this one, that is going to be same thing as, do you see this one is a little prime? When I antiderive it, that's going to be g of x from 3 to 0. But obviously, this one, when I simplify this one, this is same thing as g of 3 minus g of 0. Are you okay? So let me erase this one, and let me put this one here, because that one should come out automatically. So what we have to do is, here's the thing. This is equal to this. So let's see if we can find this. Antiderivative means area under the curve, which means the area of this one, right? So only thing that we have to find is area of this. That will give you this number. Let's do this. What's the area of this quarter circle? Our radius is 2. So it's going to be, since it's a quarter circle, 1/4 pi r squared. Radius is 2 squared. Plus, this one is a triangle, right? I mean, half the triangle. It's not even half triangle, it's just triangle. So here to here is the 1. Height is 2, so it's going to be 1/2 base, which is 1, times height, which is 2. If you're asking, Mr. Kim, that's only a half circle, isn't it? Yeah, if you want to use this entire circle, then you got to divide by 2 again, which means in that case, your base is going to be 2 to 4, which is 2. But I only use this one as a triangle, which is here to here is a 1, here to here is a 2. So I can still use pi 1/2 base times height. If it does not make sense, just go back and watch it again. So here, 2 squared is equal to 4, and 4 times 1/4 is 1. So I still have a pi plus 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 1/2 is equal to 1. So it's a pi of plus 1. So area of this 2 is going to be pi plus 1. So this is what I'm going to do. Watch. Instead of this, I'm going to put pi plus 1, because pi plus 1 represents this area under the curve, equal to g of 3, which we are trying to find, minus g of 0, which it's already given to us. G of 0 is equal to 1, so I'm going to just put 1. And very simple, if you just do plus 1 both sides, we have g of 3 equals pi plus 2. It's very simple. So our answer is going to be B. Okay. Next question. Question number 16. This one is like about the critical points. So you want to find the maximum value, right? So how do I find critical points? First, you have to take a derivative. So f prime of x is equal to what? 3x squared minus 12x minus 15. And what you're going to do is you are going to set this one equal to 0 and factor this one. As you can see, you can divide by 3. So I'm going to factor out 3. And this one equal to 0, -5 and -4. Which one can give you this? 5 and 1 with a -5. So it's going to be x minus 5, x plus 1 equal to 0. Therefore, x is equal to 5 and x equals to -1. Now, so we got this two critical points. 3, nobody cares because I don't even have an x here. So you can just get rid of this. Now, this is the domain, 0 to 6. And apparently, -1 is not between 0 to 6, so I don't need this. So since we want to find maximum value, we are going to plug in end point, like end of this one, which is a f of 0, because it starts from the 0. It stops at 5, so I'm going to plug in f of 5. And last number, which is here, f of 6. So we're going to plug this one in, and since we're looking for maximum, we're trying to find the highest point. If this question was asking for the minimum, we are trying to find the minimum point with the exactly same process. Okay, so let's do this. This is the function. We're not using this one. We're using this function because f of x. Now let's plug it in. If I plug in 0, it's going to be 0 because if you plug in 0 here, that entire thing is going to be 0. Now, if you plug in 5, it's going to be 5 to the third power minus 6, 5 squared minus 15 of 5. As you can see, 5 squared is a 25. That's a 25. 25 times 6, it's going to be 150. And 15 times 5, 75, so that's going to be 75. But I don't even have to calculate everything because I know this is 125. 125 minus 150 minus 75 is going to be the negative number. And obviously, the negative number is smaller than 0, so this one cannot be the answer. Now let's plug in 6. 6 to the third power minus 6. 6 squared minus 15 times 6. I mean, it's going to make things worse. I don't even have to calculate it. If I do it, that's going to be 216. You don't have to do it. This one, I don't even know what that is without calculator. 60. It's going to be 90. 216. So 216 minus 216 minus this one is a negative 90, which is also a negative number, and which is smaller than 0. So this one is not the maximum. So our answer is going to be 0. If you calculate this one is also this is going to be, I think, negative 100. So if question was asking for the minimum, your answer is going to be this, because this one you're going to get, what's it called? This one is the smallest number, okay? But we're asking for the maximum, so 0 is the highest out of these 3. So it's that easy. We have to do question number 18, but I believe this video is a little too long at this time. So let me stop here and I'm gonna do another video. So that's about it, guys. See you soon. Love you.